of Poncelet. 17-year-old Matthew Molinas lured a 16-year-old girl into the forest and sexually assaulted her. He was sentenced to 4 months in a treatment facility. He was later released when therapists stated he was no longer a threat. 1 year later, Agnes Mann went for a walk in the woods, and as soon as Matthew saw her, he sexually assaulted her, stabbed her multiple times, and set her body on fire with gasoline. After a second offense, he was charged with life imprisonment. This is all according to 10 heinous murders committed by minors by Amanda Clements in 2014. We have all been in a situation where we felt our safety has been threatened. I believe violent juveniles should be tried as adults. First, I will explain the level of maturity in youth. Then, I will talk about how juveniles take advantage of the system. And lastly, bringing justice to the victims and their families. First, juveniles are mature enough to establish right from wrong and should be held responsible for their actions. The majority of violent juveniles range from ages 15 to 19, according to Juvenile Delinquency to Young Adult Offending by David Farrington in 2014. The government has already deemed this age group able to drive a car or have a job. In the United States, you can go hunting or control a gun at as young as age 10, according to Hunting Age Requirements by Chris Bowen in 2016. The government has already deemed you responsible to control a gun, therefore you should be mature enough to establish right from wrong. Next, the belief that you cannot establish right from wrong has led juveniles to take advantage of the system. Violent juveniles take advantage of the time they are young to commit more violent acts because they know that the punishment will be light and that they will not be tried as adults. Crimes committed by juveniles are the same crimes committed by adults. We should not discriminate penalties. Aggravated assault is usually a felony punishable by 1 to 20 years in prison for adults, according to Aggravated Assault Laws and Penalties by a Criminal Defense Lawyer in 2016. The punishment for a juvenile for aggravated assault laws is usually a 1-year misdemeanor, stated by Kevin Massant, a juvenile assault or battery article in 2014. Juveniles should not be excused from punishment. If we charge juveniles as adults after the first offense, we would prevent future tragic events from happening. Families who have suffered a loss would feel better if the offender was not walking and roaming the streets. Lastly, by having juveniles be tried as adults, we would bring justice and peace to many victims and their families. Violent juveniles are walking the streets, living next door to us, and in many cases committing more crimes. Additional crimes committed by juveniles could be prevented if we would try them as adults after the first offense. If the crime that they commit is an adult nature, we should charge them as an adult regardless of their age. In conclusion, violent juveniles should be tried as adults. Juveniles have the maturity to realize the crimes they are committing. They take advantage of the system, and lastly, it would bring justice to many victims and their families. Having juveniles be tried as adults in court would lead to a better nation and society as a whole. If Matthew Molinas would have been tried as an adult after his first serious offense, Agnes Mann would still be alive today.
3:45.